Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 2, Episode 10, Evolution. Carrie's attempts to leave a few feminine items at Biggs are unsuccessful. Charlotte dates a gay straight man. Samantha gets revenge. And Miranda is told she has a lazy ovary.
Uh-oh. You wrote you wrote episode 11 on the cover there.
Uh-oh. It is episode 11.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
So should I redo that?
No,
or...
who cares?
Hopefully you guys aren't confused.
Well, we just cleared it up. Hi guys, welcome.
Yeah, please. What if someone clicked off thinking that it was season
No one's. I don't think anyone's thinking that hard, but this was a good episode. Look, I have a migraine, so I'm gonna be a little low key.
Well, you are in like a very like dim light. I think I'll dim my light a little more.
I am, and I have all
energies.
And I wore like a plaid, just like kind of like a grunge era shirt because I'm like feeling emo right now.
Well, you're giving me like a fall. You're giving me fall vibes.
Because it's getting to be fall. Oh, and good.
I'm giving trash.
The sun's going down, so I'm gonna have like.
You really got to figure. You should get a blackout curtain for that window. That would maybe help.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is what's happening now. So let's go with it. How was your weekend, Joan?
My weekend? Oh yeah, it's Sunday.
It is,
dude. Fine.
Are you still driving Miss Daisy?
No.
Okay.
We did go see Cinderella.
Oh, how was it?
I just think that show's kind of boring, and I don't know if it was a rewrite or something, but like the jokes were just like womp womp. Okay. It just was fine.
Did your
I was in
like
such a shit mood. Yeah. I've been so pissy and bitchy lately, like when I'm in public spaces, because people are just like simultaneously unaware and yet so like also bitchy.
Oh yeah, it's actually weird. Well, should I tell this here? Yeah, why not?
Oh, wait. Should you tell it here?
Yeah, there's nothing like bad. There's this guy. Okay, there's a person that works at the Shoppers Drug Mart that's right next to my house who definitely thinks that I'm a Karen, but I am specifically Karen just to this guy, and it's not his fault, but it's like I feel like there's something going on in the universe where every time he specifically serves me, this is at the pharmacy counter, okay? For the first time I saw him, I was like instantly annoyed because like his like, what do they wear? What do you call that?
Like a coat? Isn't it like a lab coat type?
No, thing? Yeah, it's not a lab coat though, because he's more of an underling than an actual like pharmacist. So he's more of like the receptionist, but he has to wear like a uniform, like a button-up white shirt, and it's just like way too tight on him. And he's like not fat in any way, but he's just like it was annoying to me initially when I saw that. So I already went in annoyed, and for some reason that specific machine will not take any of my cards on my phone for the tap. If you insert the card, I'm running back out to my car. I'm coming back in. And I finally figured out that it's because whenever I go and get my Ozempic, it's like $250 and my bank like won't approve that high of a transaction. So I finally figured it out, but it's been enough times now where I've been like, this only happens here. But where was I going?
Sorry to say you've lost your train of thought, and you've lost me too on that. So some guy thinks you're a Karen because you act like one.
No, because I'm specifically a Karen to him. But then I went back in the other day and I was like in a good mood, and he specifically asked the other woman to help me out, which I get. I mean, I would if I were him too. But then the other day, you know why? I was about to say I'm on my period. So the moral of the story is that I've been nervous the past couple of days because I'm like, should I just go get like the morning after pill? And
What?
If I go, I don't want to drive far. I want to go to that pharmacy, but I don't want that guy to sell me the morning after. But he's gonna poke a hole in it or something. But then I got my period, so I'm fine.
Okay, this has taken all types of turns. This story,
Not really.
What? Okay,
I just didn't want to have to buy it from him.
First of all, welcome to Pot in the City.
A Sex in the City recap show. Anyway, I saved $35 by getting my period.
If you're interested in listening to Amanda talk about this, okay, there is a lead up to what she just said. She talked about this.
But you don't get to hear it here.
With this guy. She was nervous about it. And last week on our Patreon, which you can join at patreon.com/podinthecity, I got all the juicy details. I should really be an investigative journalist because I get deep.
I spilled the tea. Yeah, you asked very specific questions I wasn't really prepared to answer, but I did.
That is how I am, though. I like, there are details I need to fill in.
Me too, yeah.
So please, guys, check it out. Over there, we do a little gab session, not unlike this, but more unhinged.
Even more. Yeah.
We actually will be talking about Sex in the City in a minute here.
Yeah.
But over there, we do a little chit chat, and then we get into an episode of a show. And last week we did Broad City. This week we're doing Designing Women.
Did you watch it yet?
No, because we're gonna record it tomorrow. You don't usually watch them until a couple hours or
that's a problem for tomorrow, Amanda.
I worry that I will forget.
Yeah, it's better to go in fresh, especially with Designing Women, because I don't really like that show very much.
I'll be oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah. But I will say, for anyone who's contemplating, just because we don't necessarily love the show, we've been talking about switching the fourth week of every month to something other than Designing Women. But they keep kind of showing up, and we're getting content.
I like the show.
Yeah.
I just think when you do put it maybe against Golden Girls,
or Girls. You like Girls now.
Not really. It's fine. It's still filled with Nepo babies, which, I haven't mentioned Nepo babies lately, but if you guys do want to check out, every week we do a weekly roundup. Unfortunately, the photo isn't in here. But please, if you're just listening to this, go check that out, because I rant about Nepo babies. We talk about movies, TV, all kinds of shit. So check that out. Yeah.
We spent a good amount of time last week talking about that pole vaulter.
The big bulge pole vaulter. I would like again to apologize to our emailer, but this is a Steve Thirsting podcast. Just be forewarned.
Well, not this episode. We don't get Steve again, I think, for the rest of the season.
Okay, I think that's why this episode, it just wasn't hitting like it was last week.
I thought it was great.
It was fine, but I think I missed my Steve.
I thought Samantha was really funny.
Oh, well, she really was. Yeah. She is very
funny, physical.
Always. Again, she's the reason And Just Like That is a failure. Any gays. Amanda, would you like to tell us about the upcoming filming for And Just Like That?
There's no news. Let's get into news and gossip here. We're going to show you a few Instagram pictures and talk shit about them.
Okay, now I was listening to last week's episode. I was crying, laughing, and I hate to sound like a complete narcissist laughing at my own self.
Oh my God! Okay, I
definitely thought it I can't remember what the hell we were talking about, but thought it was fun. Anyway.
Okay, so you didn't have any. I thought you were going to give me an example of what was funny about it.
I think we were talking about the photos.
Oh,
we were talking about something. It was one of the topics we were talking about in this section.
Well, I had thought that they were attending the funeral of Che Diaz.
I think that's what I was laughing about, because I was like, Amanda. Oh no. You thought about having a living funeral.
Oh yeah, I think everyone could have one.
And that Che Diaz possibly was having a living funeral.
Because Che Diaz would do that.
Anyway, guys, go listen last week. But where
Nothing's
was I going?
happening this week.
Okay. I was growing and learning, because to me, life is always, you're always learning, you're always growing. I did listen, and I have some feedback for us.
Okay.
From myself.
Okay.
We need to be describing the photos and what's in them, because I was literally listening to us be like, oh yeah, oh, I hate this hat. It's just like, oh, the shoes, but there's no, it's like, well, if I'm not watching this, I would have no idea.
Episodes as more of a YouTube show for some reason, but
okay, well, I still want I want our podcast listeners to be able to.
I don't watch podcasts. I watched a couple Doughboys episodes last week.
I don't love my boys. I'm a member of Julie and Brandy's video tier. Just because you get 3 podcasts a week with it, and I don't watch.
Did you hear
videos?
That? Okay, we'll talk about that later.
What?
We'll say it on off the feed.
Oh no! Now I'm scared.
It's fine. Let's talk about these pictures, though. Sweet. Here. Okay. Well,
I think I like this outfit. It's giving Clueless. I think we've seen this outfit, this Carrie outfit, in one of our weeks.
Okay, this is like nothing, but okay.
I love this outfit.
There's some good
Carrie.
Cynthia stuff here. So here's Cynthia looking fine.
She looks great.
She's wearing all white. This is on her Instagram, guys. Cynthia E. Nixon. And she's on a bed wearing a white. I love everything about this, actually, now that I'm giving it an even closer look. She looks sharp. It's just white long skirt, sitting on a bed, white button up, collar coiffed, and her hair is lesbian chic, but it's different hairstyle than we've ever really seen, actually. How would you describe this? Because it's like a
okay. Is the sound on? Was I on mute?
No.
Am I on mute now?
No, you sound differently though. All right, we're back. We got this.
Dude, I'm a baby podcaster still. I'm still only about less than a year in, and honestly, I don't know about how to do like a microphone and all that.
I don't either.
So I was like, anyway. Sorry.
I asked Jody the other day. I'm like, oh, do you think that your kids would maybe will be our social media managers, because like kids that age are good at that? But then I was like, oh no, they probably shouldn't have access to any of our content. I'm like, we could pay them, but probably that's like the worst 2 people we could ever ask to do that. Anyway, if anyone out there has like a young child, no, but like, so someone first time job, do our social media for both podcasts.
You want to get a little Sonia Morgan intern. Get someone some college credit.
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there who's taking any college classes in journalism or marketing, please reach out to us and we'll somehow get you some college credits to be our social media person.
Yeah, we can figure that shit out. Anyway, Cynthia, what do you like? What do you think about her hair here? I think she looks.
I love this look. I wish this was how Miranda was looking, because this is soft, beautiful, but still has this like masculine and feminine, and just I love it. I think she looks
here is her drinking out of a coconut.
Oh dear. And I'm sorry. This was an abrupt.
I know, it's kind of a jump scare from this.
Like, so okay, what happened here?
Same shirt.
Fine, but okay. Describing this first picture of Cynthia Nixon. She's sitting on a bed, like perched perfectly in this outfit, and her hair is this like shorter, like layered cut side part thing with like a couple like pieces, like PC bang things. Yeah. And then this second photo, she's drinking out of a coconut and she has hard red side part past the ear length, long, like middle length bob, but terrible lighting. Terrible lighting.
I don't know what this has to do with anything, but she just wrote, "I'm waltzing on air. Thank you," at Kamala Harris. Maybe she was there.
You know what this has to do with is, there's that meme, the coconut tree.
Oh.
So she's drinking a coconut.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Well, and this must have been when they announced that Tim Walz was.
This was August 2nd. So yeah, that sounds about right. Here's Kristen Davis with her bulldog.
And now, what's his name on the show?
Richard Burton.
Yeah. I love Richard Burton.
So this is a totally different dog than we saw in the last week photo. This is like different color dog.
It is?
It looks completely different than that other dog.
Great.
And then this is what Sarah Jessica Parker posted this week. She has a new shoe. It's called Camden.
What are our thoughts here?
Well, all like this is the picture that she accompanied with it. And I'm like, if you want to, hey,
this
Siri,
dirty
show
rag.
Amanda the most triggering possible picture you could show.
What?
Because it's just walking
oh my
downstairs.
God.
There's no railing.
What I'm grossed out by here is that this just looks like someone sat down on theater steps, didn't wash them, didn't clean them, didn't wipe down the rail, absolutely nothing. And we're like, snap, snap, perfect. Send it to print.
Well,
like, what is this? Like, you can see lint in the edges, and I'm looking at a tiny picture.
You're right.
I'm looking at a tiny version. You can't have things that are going to distract you. I'm not looking at the shoes. What I'm noticing in the shoes is the bottom part of the shoe, minus the straps, looks like a character shoe.
It does. You're right. You're right. I could maybe actually wear these. Maybe it's not as high as it looks because they're
not.
The buckle. Okay. Well, anyway,
they're definitely
that's all
not.
that happened in the news.
But dude,
I feel like
no one wants to buy a character shoe to wear out in public as their shoe choice.
I think I had a dream that Sarah Jessica Parker was like singing something, and then I was gonna say that I saw a TikTok where she was singing, but now I'm almost positive that it was a dream that I had. So, or there's a random clip.
What was she singing?
I think it was like Ins and Just Like That, or I don't know. She was singing and she sounded good.
They should have Carrie Bradshaw sing. Has she ever? Oh, she did sing. She sang in Sex and the City too.
Wow.
At karaoke in Dubai or Abu Dhabi.
Let's all forget about that. Well,
guys, that was quick and dirty.
Yeah,
I'm upset though that there isn't more filming happening. We really got to boost up our news and gossip section. So if you guys have any news and gossip to send it to us on Instagram or through here. Can you message?
Or send us some sex stories.
Yeah, that
We're
too. I almost felt like that was kind of just like being abandoned almost at this point.
If we get one, we'll read one.
I would really like you guys to send us some news and gossip too. Also, if you're a kind-hearted person, a wonderfully kind-hearted person, and you would like to leave us a 5-star review, I'll lick your butt. Just kidding. I don't know what. I don't. Anyway, guys, please.
We were talking about Euphoria right before recording.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, there we go. I'm
eating ass.
Yeah.
We had ass eating on the brain.
And White Lotus eating ass. I mean, wow.
You need to watch White Lotus.
You know me, I'm really bad with TV shows unless it's me rewatching Vanderpump Rules or Real Housewives.
7 episodes in each. And it has Sydney Sweeney in the first season.
I don't like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
Someone was saying that Sydney Sweeney was the
Britney Spears. I know.
Amanda.
That would be a really bad choice, I think.
I said, okay, listen to our
go
weekly roundup, y'all. But I am a Britney stan for life. This is actually a movie that I will go see, and I don't go see this shit like that. Her biopic, and we were hypothesizing, who could it be? Who could be in this? Never once did I want Sydney Sweeney, because that bitch cannot act. And she's dead face.
She's really good in Euphoria.
What happened?
One episode of Euphoria, at least.
What happened?
She's good in White Lotus too, actually.
Yeah, but I'm not. I know. Doesn't she play like a vapid girl type? I just don't see her as Britney. Please don't do this to us. I beg whoever's casting, please, please. Just about anyone but Sydney Sweeney. Can you think of someone worse than Sydney Sweeney that could possibly be cast? Because I can't.
I don't know. Remember when Anne Hathaway was in talks for like a Liza Minnelli biopic, and now I look back and I'm like, she actually probably, or no,
She
Judy
would probably
Garland.
be.
She'd probably be like,
She'd probably
really
be good.
Yeah,
she'd probably be good.
There was just a lot of hate
I gotta
for
be
her that
honest. The
would've been
Renee
better.
Zellweger portrayal of Judy was.
Yeah, didn't
I
she
thought
win for
was
that?
pretty good. Yeah, but do people like that or do they hate it? I want to know what Jason Powell's opinion on it was.
That's really all that matters.
What was his opinion about it? Because I can't remember what their thoughts were.
I can almost get that. Anyway, okay, well, let's get into this episode. You're leading. You
yeah,
to lead.
baby.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to lead this one because I don't want to lead something after our live.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to have to not think so much. All right,
gotcha.
I was trying to work on my Carrie voice too, and because it's not like breathy, it's like kind of harsher. There is nothing more humiliating for a woman than a visit to the gynecologist.
I could name like 25
Thank
more
you.
embarrassing things than that. Yeah, that was great. Good job.
Yeah, like, is that humiliating? I mean, I would assume it is like getting opened up. Go ahead.
Sorry. When I go to the gyno, my biggest concern is just like when they're down there, the only thing I'm thinking about is just like the smell of everything. Because even if you shower, I'd say most women should, just to be nice, shower right before you go to the gynecologist. But then you're there and you're sitting and you're sweating like a fucking pig. So
I've had my ass inspected. I get it.
Because then you got swamp ass, swamp vagina. Then they're
honey.
Your ass is never far enough down. A little further, little further. Everything about it sucks. I don't understand the concept of having a male gynecologist. I don't understand why they exist, and I don't understand why anyone would want one.
I kind of don't know why. Like, if you're a man and your choices of doctorness. I'm not judging, but I am.
What would you choose as your doctor thing? Like, I would do skin.
Nothing. I would never want to be a doctor.
I want to pop stuff.
I don't want to be a doctor at all, I think.
Maybe you have to pay attention to school and shit. You probably can't be a pothead.
Amanda, guess what? I am a good student.
I'm a good student too.
I could get straight A's doing anything I studied.
Okay.
But I don't want to be a doctor. Ew. Yeah, I want the money of being a doctor, but I don't want to work super crazy hours. I don't want to be like the ones that seem coolest would be like a surgeon, like a brain surgeon. But no way in hell would I want to be like, I know my hands shake trying. Okay, guys. Speaking of, check out my TikTok. Open that doll. Over there, when I'm trying to film a TikTok or like use my camera to film something, I feel like I can't, my hands are shaking trying to do that, let alone fucking cutting someone's brain open and like digging in there.
There's a lot of storylines on Grey's Anatomy about like having like, at least two major doctors. One was Derek and one was the guy that got kicked off Isaiah Washington, the one that called George O'Malley the F word.
Yes.
But,
then at the awards was like, in the press room was like, yeah, I didn't call TJ, what's his name? TJ Knight or something?
TI Knight? That sounds wrong. TR Knight.
TR Knight. I didn't call TR Knight an FAG.
And everyone was like, ugh. No one, it was like, not well received.
Ew. Okay, where is this going? Doctors.
There are storylines where, because I think Derek gets shot and then something happened, that guy gets shot. They both got shot, of course, within the same year. And
Grey's, everything happens.
I know. So both of them have storylines where like they like have to, their hands are like all fucked up and shaky. And then like Kelly Torres has to like repair their hands back. I don't know, at least one of their hands back to like fight, and then they like get the shakes. So I was every time I'm watching that, I'm like, I could never be a surgeon because I have Tourette's. Like, there's no way I could be a surgeon.
Yeah. I think if I was going to be a doctor, I'd prefer to be a spin doctor, like DJ James Kennedy.
Ooh. What ain't nobody like I'm feeling you, like I'm feeling you.
I'm in season 9 again, and I'm still being tortured by a recording session with Lala where they have the like thickest auto tune, and James is like, "That's so Kanye."
And then in the back, he's like listening, he's like feeling himself. He's like, yeah. I went to school. I have a master's in music, and I've never listened to anything and had a reaction like that. Like, yeah, like you just like so feeling it.
Okay, guys, this is a Sex in the City.
Yeah,
I
have like a migraine. I feel like
okay, so. We find out that at the gynecologist, Miranda's getting her puss examined and all this shit. She ended up getting on the pill because she was dating Steve. It was the first time she had dated someone in a couple years, but now she wants to get off of it because it's feeling like this daily reminder that she ain't having sex. This is also when we find out, she's got a lazy ovary. She finds out that it's her right
really
ovary.
Funny in this part.
I
always remember her being very, very funny. She looks beautiful.
I think they gave her a really good story. Like her and Carrie got good storylines really out the gate of this show, and it took a little bit longer for Samantha and Charlotte.
Yeah.
To get something going. Because
I think Charlotte's first really good story was when
Trey.
Was Trey, because it was like of course this bitch met, and like
she got everything she wanted, but
then he couldn't get it up.
Exactly.
So that was a great storyline.
It was a good it was like her storyline built in a different way.
Yeah.
It was like it's anyway, now we're like
the hairy stuff. But anyway, yeah.
Oh well, Miranda... yeah. Okay, so Miranda because really her lack of this ovary, not lack of, but that it doesn't want to work as much, is part of the reason that she ends up getting pregnant with Brady, because she thinks that she only has one ovary and Steve ends up only having one ball. Right. Okay, so they have a thing. Is it possible your ovary's just on strike? My right ovary has given up hope that I will ever get married and have kids. And we find out that Charlotte has a tilted uterus. And then guess what? Carrie has really bad lipstick, guys.
What?
Carrie is wearing really bad lipstick in this scene.
What is she wearing here? I feel like she looks
like a tube top, and then she has like the straight hair and it's like pinned here.
I like that. I like
that, but it's this pink lipstick.
Okay, she kind of calls Samantha a hoe at one point, but
Samantha says, well, it's partially because Samantha says she doesn't want a male gynecologist because they don't make her come. She wants to I
don't see the point of a man being down there for so long if I'm not gonna come.
We also find that Carrie has never left anything at Biggs because she has a pair of panties in her purse. This is very important for later on. Please, guys, remember that Carrie, that Carrie is carrying a pair of underwear in her purse because
she puts it right on the table, and
they're flinging it by the crotch. Yeah. They have their finger in
dirty. It's not established if that's dirty or clean. But
anyway, she's like, so we find out too that Samantha never leaves underwear because I never see it again. What happens to it? Nothing. I never go back. Isn't it a little expensive disposing of lingerie every time you sleep with a guy? That's why I stopped wearing underwear on dates. That's why I'm never borrowing a dress from you again. And I'm thinking, wearing no underwear.
Your friend a hoe.
Well, also, you're not gonna borrow a dress because what? Now, please tell me, Amanda, I
Yeah.
have questions here.
You're not
When
wiping your dress. You're not wiping your dress on your pussy. You're not like wiping yourself after peeing with your entire dress. So dumb.
I was just gonna ask you, from your experience, when you're wearing a dress with no underwear, is pussy juice just spraying everywhere? Are like dingleberries flying all over the place?
But if I wear a
Okay.
dress, I'll wear like little boy shorts underneath. Like
Okay,
biker shorts,
so
like minis.
so
But
you
I would
are
never
being
walk around with
responsible.
just my pussy flaps hanging out because I would be concerned of like drippage or something. Like there's got to be something to catch.
Okay, so you might be on the side of not borrowing someone's dress because there could be pussy juice flown on it.
No, but that would be impossible. Well, Samantha's dresses are so like short, but they're kind of all calling Samantha a hoe because Carrie said, "Isn't that expensive to get new underwear every time you have sex with a guy?" It's like she's had sex with exactly the same amount of people as Miranda and Charlotte, at least during this series so far.
Agreed. I think Charlotte has had sex with more,
the most,
and at least.
But Charlotte goes, one time I found another woman's pair of underwear at a guy's house, and Carrie goes, maybe it was Samantha's, which I find is a pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though they have this then that turns into this conversation about like stuff they've left behind at people's guys' houses, etc., etc. And then we get Miss Debbie Downer here. She's like, I got
Miranda?
a shirt and it says I dated a bartender and all I got was this lousy ovary. And then it's like,
and also the joke there, the better pun on that would be lazy ovary. She has
well, I thought she was gonna say lazy ovary.
Well, it should be because
then she ended up saying lousy.
Because it'd be like, I went to California and all I got was this lousy shirt.
I get that.
Thing. Right.
Now, though, why?
So it's funny if she says lazy
semantics
anyway. If we were in the writer's room, we'd be like, no, we need to punch that up.
If we were in the writer's room, it wouldn't have taken them so long to win Emmys. Okay,
right.
I am literally.
Then Miranda brings up like a scrunchy joke. So somebody in that writer's room has a problem with scrunchy because that comes up again with Burger.
That was a thing back in the day. I think there's a lot of.
They're back now, though. I have a scrunchie right here.
They really are. In fact, they're kind of now actually out again. I think
they are, but they're way better for your hair than like an elastic.
Yeah, they're softer, right?
And then they can look cute. You can wear them on your wrist, and you look so tiny. Your little wrist.
I don't like them on the wrist.
I don't. I can't. I like. Whoa.
I have jewelry, rings, bracelets, necklaces, watches. And like, I don't like having things on me. No, I wish I did. I would love to have I love all the anyway.
I feel like you could go the way. Would you ever consider painting your nails? I feel like you could pull that off. That could be a fun. I think
as I get older, I will definitely probably fall a little more into the like kooky look. To me, painted nails for me. I was gonna have a minor rant later relating to this, so maybe I'll put a pin in it.
All right.
My thoughts on that. Anyway, we find out that Carrie is okay. So Carrie's like gonna test it. She's gonna leave something at Biggs. So she leaves like the most obnoxious fucking fold up hair dryer I've ever seen. She ends up leaving it in the cabinet.
Even first time watching this, I was like, "There's no way that is the hair blower that she's using for that."
She
has naturally curly hair. Do you know how long that would take? That would take 3 hours, and I am not joking.
She also would need a lot more than just the blow dryer. Like she needs a brush, probably a flat iron, Also, here's my question. Why are we putting it in the cabinet? If you put the blow dryer in like the drawer, you don't put that in the medicine cabinet.
Yeah. I also don't think this has always kind of blown my mind just because in my experience, once it's kind of established that you are dating someone, like this isn't just like a couple hookups. Like, no, we've decided let's keep seeing each other and I'm probably going to be over here. Like, isn't it just natural that you'd be like, can I have like a drawer or something, or like where can I leave some stuff here so that I don't have to schlep shit back and forth? Isn't that just a natural question you'd ask? I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think big things is that big a deal either. I think Carrie is making it a big deal.
Actually, I'm totally opposite there. I think that Big is being a douche later about it.
When he brings the stuff back, for sure.
She's like, well, can I just have a thing can I just have some space in your house? And he's like, why? Are you dumb? Are you fucking dumb? I'm on this much patience right now that like if a man said that to me, I'd say you can't be that fucking stupid.
I wouldn't even ask though. If okay, they are.
Well, he brought your shit back.
Okay, well, yeah, that would okay. So
and you would say, "Can't I leave some stuff at your house?" And he's like, "Why?" And I'd be like, "Are you stupid? I need things, you dumbass."
I would probably just honestly, this is the way I have approached it in the past, is I'm going to leave some shit here. Where can I put it?
Yeah.
It's not like, can I leave some stuff at your house? It's like, this is happening. So
I wouldn't sneak it either. Because I'm going to give a tiny bit of something to Big. Maybe Big did think she was just accidentally leaving things because of the way she was leaving them. But I'm not sure that setting up a cup with tampons in it and shit is like accidentally leaving something. That doesn't seem accidental. Anyway, Charlotte was making history. Okay, so Carrie ends up leaving a ton of shit in the cabinet. It's full. Check out our cover for more. This is the after. See, there's the cup of tampons and the stupid blow dryer.
I mean,
anyway,
he's not being a dick about it there, even in that picture. He's more just like, oh, it's a lot of shit in my.
Which I would be kind of like surprised by that. I don't know what. Oh, geez. I don't know.
You know what? So, wait, hang on. Let me rewind this because now I'm thinking about when I dated that guy that we call the mole that I went on that famous vacation with.
Mm-hmm.
He always wanted to leave shit. He always wanted to leave shit at he always wanted to leave shit at my house, and I said no. Because in my own head, I was like, I honestly don't know what will be the week that I get the full ick. I mean, I had the ick. I just wanted to have sex with this guy. All I wanted was just a full like sexual. That is it. Yeah. That's all we do. And then he's like, "You're my girlfriend, right? Like I'm telling people you're my girlfriend." And then I broke up with him, and then I like got wasted one night, and I like texted him at 2 a.m, which is kind of my MO. And then so I could have avoided the whole fucking thing, and then it was a whole thing. But anyway, in my head, I was like, I don't know if this will actually be the last time. Like, when will I start ghosting this? I don't want all this shit at my house. That's it.
Yeah, that would be the hard part because then he would have to come sometime to pick it up, and he might come like Kristen Doty does.
Yeah, looking all cute.
Yeah.
No, my favorite moment though was like when I was dating him. That's when I got the news that I was moving back to Canada. So that like perfect excuse. It's like I'm literally moving back to Canada.
Gotta go.
Bye. Yeah. See ya.
Well, you know what, Amanda, Charlotte was making history as well. Tired of the Neanderthals she'd been dating, she spent her night with a gay friend who catered parties for the gallery. Dessert chef Stephen Bodine. And they are walking down the street having this talking about Betty Buckley being in Cats, like basically all the gayest shit you could possibly talk about. They're like, oh yeah, she's the cat's pajamas. Why do people say the cat's pajamas? Oh, we should say the dog's tuxedo. Oh.
This actor's name is Dan Futterman, and
I think he's hot, personally.
Yeah, no, he's hot. He's got like a rat face for sure, but that's definitely
he does. He looks a lot like the Challengers boys.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Remember that movie?
The Challengers? Are you thinking?
Remember? Yeah, it almost seems like that movie did like.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I feel like I know enough about it just from listening to so many podcasts, and I know all the references. So I'm like, I don't need to sit through this. But Dan, I don't think he's gay in real life, but he's in a lot of gay adjacent things. And
he was also on Birdcage.
He was on Will and Grace. He played Barry in full episodes, one of which these are the episodes he was in. Ready?
Yeah.
Fagmalian Part 1, Gay It Forward.
You really hit
Fagmalian.
the fag on there, eh?
Fagmalian Part 2, Attack of the Clones. Fagmalian Part 3, Bye Bye Beardy.
These were the episodes.
Fagmalian Part 4, The Guy Who Loved Me.
These were parts of Will and Grace?
Yeah, it was a story arc where it was like Pygmalion.
So they had 4 episodes titled Fagmalian. Wow.
Yeah. And it was like about like he's like someone's friend and he just decided to come out and he's like all like he like wears sweaters and his hair isn't like coiffed. So Jack and Will take him under their wing and they make him all hot and then they both like fall in love with him, I think, and he's like, you both suck.
Of course. Anyway.
But he's not gay in real life.
He's not gay in this episode either, Amanda. He's straight.
I would not. I was thinking about this. I'm like,
this
would
episode.
I date this guy? I would definitely date this guy, but it would definitely be in secret.
This doesn't make any sense, and I hate this storyline, and I hate the way it ends up. I hate the way the whole thing goes. It's annoying.
Because it blew my mind back then too, because he says, if I was gay, I live in Chelsea, I'm a pastry chef, I would just be gay. But it's like, but you're like super gay. Flamboyant, I guess. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Like, what do you think is really happening? Like, do you think that this man comes out at some point in his life? In your experience,
it's such a challenging situation here. No, because I feel like if you are truly closeted, it's somewhat like he says, you wouldn't like, he wouldn't be as out. He would not be as like faggy if he was, like he'd be out if he was acting that way. I feel like he'd be trying to hide it a little bit more, but I just think that's why I think this storyline kind of in a way bugs me as a gay person.
But it's a pretty real story, Joan, especially growing up in theater. Like,
it's really not though, because it's
every
just
guy
basically,
you meet in theater, it's like, oh, he's probably gay. It's gay until proven straight.
But this man was not that type of situation. It was like they drilled every last gay stereotype they could possibly do. He's talking about Betty Buckley. He's talking about how Cher like inspires him. Like, really? And now I like gay shit. Trust. Y'all know I like gay shit. But like for this, it's like,
yeah, and I'm trying to pick. I was just gonna say, I think it's pretty hot when he grabs her and just kisses her. But then I'm like trying to imagine, like, what if I was walking with like you or Nick, and then all of a sudden you like
that's what I'm
me
saying.
And kiss me? It would be like, it would be shocking.
We just had a whole night where I'm like, yes, Carol Channing is my queen. Yeah. Remember when she does the raspberry? Yeah. Don't you just love it? And then I'm like, wow. I would be like, it'd be like me going out with some big old lesbian the whole night. We're like, yeah, cool. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then she kisses me at the end of the night. I'd be like,
no.
And I did. Okay, so what ends up happening, they're walking down the street. He's like, should we get a cappuccino? And she's like, I've got to go. Oh, yeah, I'm in Uptown. He's like, yeah, Chelsea, which if you guys don't famously know, that's like the gay neighborhood, the like rich gay people area. Charlotte, they do this whole tete-a-tete where he tries to get a cab and he can't. And then she gets out there and gets a cab right away. And he's like, ooh, how'd you do it? And she's like, I just had to show a little leg. And then he opens the cab door. She's getting in and he like kisses her. And then the look on her face was exactly, I would say, the look I would make, which was like...
She like takes off her glasses.
She just like gets in the cab and then drives away. The real question is he a straight gay man or is he a gay straight man? The gay straight man was a new strain of heterosexual male spawned in Manhattan as the result of overexposure to fashion, exotic cuisine, musical theater, and antique furniture. Now, I'm sorry, but just because you see all of these things and like go and visit musical theater and see antique furniture, you don't start being like, yes, girl, I love this. Oh my God, Betty Buckley. Oh, like, no, this does not happen, and it makes me angry.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of straight. I mean, I've done so many shows.
This is what I'm saying.
Gay and straight men. The straight men do act a little bit gay because you do pick up on just the mannerisms and like sayings.
I would say though, from my experience being around the type of gay straight man they're talking about, they're not like this guy. They are not like this guy. Like, this guy is more like, it's just kind of too stereotypical for me, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely is.
He's a pastry chef who likes to fuck to share.
Yeah,
are we serious?
Believe in love?
Well, Samantha's like, hopefully he's a gay straight man, meaning he's straight with great gay qualities. Whereas a straight gay guy is just a gay guy who plays sports and won't fuck you.
Yeah.
We find out that Miranda's taking hormones, and Samantha's like, oh, honey, are those recreational? My drink isn't doing it for me. She's like, they're hormones. And then, wait! Aren't you guys gonna notice Carrie's purse?
Yeah, this conversation has gone on long enough without it being about me. So everyone, look at this, my fucking purse.
Miranda's fully in the middle of talking about taking, like, hormones
being
for her lazy ovary. And Carrie's like, you guys, haven't you seen my little purse? And at first I was like, huh?
It's a cute
purse. Then, like I said, remember earlier, don't forget earlier when she had the pair of panties in her purse, she now has a teeny tiny purse, meaning her teeny tiny panties don't fit in them. But I can almost guarantee you Sarah Jessica Parker's thong can fit into like a tiny Coke baggie, for God's sake. Like, are we for real? So that's her indicator. And guys, if it's ever about anyone else, it needs to be about Carrie. Anyway, we find out that Carrie pooped at Big's house for the first time. And Charlotte thinks it's the end of romance. This also leads to a funny line where Charlotte's talking about all her bullshit and hang-ups about this and that and yada. And Samantha's like, honey, you're so uptight. You need to do a number 7, which is pretty fucking funny.
That is funny, yeah.
And then we get Stephen Schwartz lookalike, Dominic Delmonico.
Have I said that before? Because that's always what I've thought about.
Oh, really? The second he comes on screen,
both of us have said to each other before, like 20 years ago.
If anyone knows what Stephen Schwartz looks like, there's no way you cannot immediately think this guy looks like him, because he has a big nose. He has like the curly-ish kind of hair.
Looking than
he's
Stephen
a
Schwartz,
hotter Stephen Schwartz, is what.
Yes,
he's like a better looking Stephen Schwartz.
Not hot, but hotter than Stephen Schwartz.
Yes, better looking. Now, Dominic Delmonico was a publishing magnate and the first and only man Samantha really loved. He wined and dined her, set the bar for hot sex, then dumped her for an Icelandic supermodel named Anka. Once on the Fortune cover, of Fortune, he'd fall into tabloid level due to a messy public divorce. That's about it.
She also, that's not true, because Samantha was in love with James, the small dick.
And his tiny penis.
His teeny tiny penis.
Okay. But they're saying that this was the first and only man Samantha really loved.
But Samantha really loved James. That's why it was so devastating. Yeah.
They should have said this was the first man Samantha ever loved. It would make more sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, we find out basically that he fucked her over and now she wants to exact revenge. We then cut to Big arriving to Carrie's with her stuff. Which
is always so jarring when he shows up there. I'm always like,
It
Like,
is.
I feel like it's almost like they have it in their contract that he has to spend at least one night a month at Carrie's. And so he's like, all right, here's my night. Like, let's just get this. Because it's weird to see him in that studio, isn't it?
It is.
Like, even him
It
just laying
is.
in her bed, I'm like, you don't belong here.
And I think maybe they're trying, maybe like they're like unintentionally, the show is doing some good work of showing what their relationship really is like.
Yeah.
It's always about Carrie having to go into Big's world. It's never really it's not a lot of Big coming into Carrie's world.
But I mean, sorry, Carrie, but he's the fucking like millionaire.
Oh
And
baby, I would be at
tell him
Big's
so.
apartment
Yeah.
like every night
Yeah.
over my little tiny studio.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
Airbnb my studio like year round. I'm staying at your house again, Big. Yeah.
Exactly. So okay. He brings the bag of stuff in like a Bergdorf Goodman bag, and she's like, she thinks it's a gift by her reaction. He's like, she's like, I meant to leave that stuff at your apartment. He's like, why? Again, guys, that would be where I would unleash all hell, like the torrents of fire from my eyes and mouth, because that is one place where I hate bullshit. You can, if you make a dumb mistake, but playing it like feigning ignorance makes me want to punch you in the brain. Like, are you for real?
But there's a funny line here because Carrie's like, well, you can leave some stuff at my house. And he's like what? And she's like, well, what do you want to leave? Or what do you want? And he goes, I don't know. Let's just save an hour. Why don't you just tell me what I want? Which is funny. Because that is pretty true.
Then they have a really lovely Woody Allen and Mia Farrow joke.
Reference.
And then they say, before Soon Yi.
Remember that when he fucked his daughter? He says his ideal situation is exactly what we have. We're together when we want to be and apart when we want to be, which, yeah, this is great. Where you're still hung up on the Soon Yi joke. I love a Soon Yi joke.
They do a whole, then Carrie has a whole thing. I was going to write it, but then I was like, ew, I don't even want to talk about it. Our new, the topic at hand is, are New Yorkers evolving past relationships? Relationships have declined since women left the cave, looked around and said, this isn't hard. So you don't need a man, but do you still want one? And they're walking down the street eating like melted ice cream. They each obviously were directed to have to take one bite because Samantha, like, I wish I had something to hold, but like, let's say it's this water cup. Like Samantha's holding it. She takes her one bite and then she pops the spoon in there. Like she's like, I'm done. And then just kind of is like, I know I don't have to take any more bites of this shit.
I got it out of the way at the front. Yeah.
And it definitely looks like a melted Frosty. If anyone is as like a Wendy's, you know, like they got a frost. It's like,
we all know if anyone's familiar with the little place called Wendy's. It's like
some places
as big as McDonald's.
I know we have at least one listener in Australia. Can you tell me, is there Wendy's in Australia, y'all? Because I bet there is.
I do know that Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia because Australia already had like a small little local shop that was called Burger King, and he wouldn't like sell it to them. You know how I learned that? Grey's
Anatomy.
No.
Doughboys.
Oh, I have that on my dating profile. Like, we will get along if, and I said, if you like the Doughboys podcast.
Do men listen to that?
Do men listen to that? Girls don't listen to that.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Like me and a bunch of guys. It's a lot of cum jokes.
Great. So guys, if you know anyone who likes Doughboys because of the cum jokes, reach out to Amanata.
Yeah.
Set it up.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Samantha has planned her revenge. And then they have this whole thing. Since Stephen hadn't come out, Charlotte accepted his invitation to stay in. That again, and I might just be being touchy. I can joke all day long about other people, but I'm like, this is kind of annoying as a gay person. Since Stephen hadn't come out, Charlotte accepted his invitation to stay in. And she's like, oh, look, you have the silk placemats I've been eyeing at Bergdorf's. I'm sorry, again. This is not a straight man. I don't care what logic, what is happening here. No straight men are like this. And then he calls out her Cynthia Rowley dress. And I just wrote, this is absurd.
No, I'll tell you when I would get the ick here. You missed the line. It's right before that, though. He's like, he says something about like, well, thanks for coming all the way over here. And she goes, are you kidding? This is my dream kitchen. And then he kind of like sashays over and he's like, this is my fantasy. Kisses her.
Does.
I'd be like, ew.
Well, he's also like in the beginning, like stirring some sauce, like in like, this like
taste the sauce.
And they're also listening to, what were they listening to? Because there's another gay reference, like some.
Are they listening to like La Vie en Rose or something? I feel like they are. I feel like it's like something like that.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah. It's just
they're listening to Will Can You Believe in Life After Love when they have sex later.
Well, Charlotte wanted to be open-minded, but Stefan assumed to be making it. Stefan seemed to be making it as hard as possible. Meanwhile, Samantha was making Dominic as hard as possible.
Hold on, though. Hold on. So isn't your question answered right there? Because like he's kissing her like pretty deep. I feel like he would pretty instantly get a boner. So isn't that just the answer to the question right there?
They have sex. So like, yeah, I mean.
So he's straight. Or he's at least bi. Like you don't this
maybe
if he gets a boner, then he's
maybe back in the day there was some biphobia.
I think that's really what I think. If this was today, this wouldn't even be a story because he would just be bi.
There's got to be something because I'm sorry, I've known a lot of gay straight guys, a lot, and none of them are this faggy. I mean, none, not one.
That bi guy the mole was also like was bi. And
he acted like this?
No, he didn't act like this at all.
Like,
he acted totally
Cher. Like, what?
But he did make music theater references a lot. Anyway, I don't want to get I don't know why I keep talking about the mole. God. Fucking worse.
Maybe he has gotten some
got
topical work and he can get back in it.
The moles were like the 10th biggest problem with that guy.
Okay, that would be my number one. Get me the fuck out. Amanda has told the story. Amanda told the story that she went on a weekend with this guy.
I'll tell you where you can find it. It's on me and Jody's like 7th episode of We Love to Hate Everything. It's called Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot. And the story is buried exactly halfway through the episode. But it's worth listening to.
It's disgusting.
You got some Aunt Diane sprinkled in there. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good shit. I got altitude poisoning.
Samantha's like, do you want me? He's like, do I want you? And then she's like thinking that she was gonna dump him before she fucks him, but then she needs that D. Except it's kind of dumb because like Samantha could get dick like everywhere. Like, is this guy?
Yeah, but she's still got some feelings for him,
I guess, and she thinks that then she can just let it go. In order to survive 2 decades of dating in New York, Samantha had become a powerful hybrid, the ego of a man trapped in the body of a woman. And again, here's more bullshit. And this is actually not a good portrayal of gayness either, is saying the ego of a man trapped in the body of a woman. Charlotte feared the opposite was true of Stephen, that he had the body of a man, but the ego of a woman trapped in the body of a man. So you're saying that gay men are just women.
This is where she brings Stanford and Carrie.
This was a good scene. She still needed help classifying her finds, so she brought in a team of experts. Stanford thinks he's straight based on some things,
he goes, well, I find myself insanely attracted to him, which of course means that he's straight.
And someone's
line.
like, what if he's gay and he doesn't know it yet? And he's like, honey, we are aware. When I was a boy, my father gave me a book about the female body to teach me about sex. I took one look at it and said, no. And then we find out that Charlotte and Stefan haven't fucked yet. So, it's still all up in the air. And then he's like, would you guys, he comes over and kind of like makes eyes at Stanford a couple times in their little things. He's like, would you like a scone? A fresh blabbity blah, blah, blah.
He's making scones through this whole fucking episode. Who likes a scone? It's like the most dry ass shit you can like eat.
It is
I don't
dry.
ever want a scone. Even a fresh scone is
Can't
dry.
even think of the last time I ate a scone.
No. Who wants, like, what do you have? I mean,
give me a croissant.
You know where a scone's good, I guess? Like straight out of the oven, slathered in butter, and then slathered in like jelly.
Okay, but a scone is typically anyway kind of supposed to be dry. It's like drier than a biscuit.
Yeah.
Give me a biscuit.
I thought you were going to go with like a pussy joke there. Like it's drier than your pussy.
Drier than, kind of dry like your vagina or whatever the hell Laganja Estranja says.
Yeah.
Like it's dry, kind of like your vagina. Yikes. Anyway.
Season 6 episode Drag Race reference there.
It's now like season 16. That's 10 seasons ago.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Stanford, I almost called him Stefan. He's like, it's so not fair. All the good ones are straight, even the gay ones. And then Miranda
Which I would beg to differ. I think every straight woman up there will beg to differ. They're all gay, and like even the straight ones are gay. And all the good ones are gay.
Yeah.
All the good ones are gay and all the bad ones are straight.
Well, we have plenty of bad gays too.
You have bad ones, but you also have good ones. And I think we have only bad ones.
Well, we just tend to have a touch more culture.
Right?
Gays. Miranda goes out with a guy who has awful hair plugs, or they're like not awful, they're just like healing. Now, it's big nowadays. People are going out to Turkey to get hair plugs, and it's a whole thing. And
I
don't know what
one of the Fiddler on the Roofs that I did. Did you see the one I did at Arizona Jewish Theater? And with like the hot Tevye. That guy's name is Chaz. What?
Where did you guys do the performances? Because I think I did see it. But it was at like a center, right? Like a Center for the Arts or something. Yeah, I think I saw that.
But the guy that played opposite me just got hair plugs, and then there's like we had to do like a lot of freezing, like in the blackout while like Tevye's singing. And I would always just like stare at his hair plugs.
Weren't you Fruma Sarah?
No, I was Huddle on that one.
Oh, okay. The guy who had just gotten hair plugs?
Yeah, like just gotten hair plugs. So I would just like stare at them, and I couldn't stand the guy.
Who was that?
I'm not telling you now. I mean, it would be nothing. You probably
anyway. Any gays? Just make sure you guys remember she's out with hair plug guy. She's like he's like this mansplaining piece of shit where she's talking about her ovaries and he's like, do we really want desperate women having babies at 50?
Fucking JD Vance over here. I mean,
go fuck a couch, dude. Maybe some people aren't supposed to procreate. Maybe this is why the world's way of weeding out the weak. If you ask me, this is a ridiculous abuse of science. You now have designer sperm in these simulated wombs. And then it took, I'm surprised Miranda wouldn't have let this go on that long. I don't believe. She's like, I don't need to be lectured about science by a man who's doing crop rotation on his forehead, which is pretty good. And then at that moment, I guess that was supposed to be telling us that she was too hormonal. So she decided to quit hormones. Because it says Miranda quit her hormones.
I didn't even put that together. I thought it was just her. I just assumed that she then continued to take hormones or something.
I would have thought they should have had her be way bitchier than that, because I thought that was light.
Yeah, because I didn't put that together.
That was light work. Then we get to this beautiful scene. Now, Amanda, when I fuck and I'm gay, not once have I fucked to Believe by Cher. It does not make me hard and horny. Sometimes if it comes on, in my Drag Race playlist while I'm driving down the street, I'll let it play, but I'm not getting a hard dick to it. So
What
this
kind of
is
music are you
unrealistic.
like? What's a good mix, or like what's an album?
John Legend is really good for
Oh, that's good. I like putting on.
I like
I've liked putting on like a
Rihanna,
Lily Allen in
Beyonce.
the past, or Pink.
Oh.
Pink is really good too.
I like Beyonce type. I like
Mm.
I like shit that's like,
More like an
I'm a
R&B feel.
stank ass.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
let
like
me
just like
rub off,
major
let me get
keys.
on it. Like make me feel like a stripper kind of shit.
Yeah, no, I like that Channing Tatum with Pink song.
Channing Tatum has a song with Pink?
Sexual trauma, my love, my love, my love, my love. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, the music video of her, she's like dancing with Channing Tatum. He's in like a zoot suit, and then he's like gay in
Okay, well,
it.
he doesn't sing in the song.
No, he doesn't sing, but like that's how I kind of picture
Okay. And you like to fuck to a song talking about sexual trauma? That's the first line you just said. You're like, sexual trauma.
I don't think she's saying sexual trauma. She's saying my favorite trauma. That's not the words either, but you all know what song it is. I'm singing it so well. How can you not recognize it? That or
I also love, like, I love like a Pour Some Sugar on Me. That I love a thing, like just a skanky like 80s hair
I had
band type shit.
The other night when that guy showed up, I had it on like a playlist, but I like had it ready to go for what's that lesbian song? Fuck. Not Come to My Window.
What's that
but
lesbian?
It's Sarah Gilbert's wife sings it.
Oh,
what's going on?
Yeah.
That was good. It worked out nice.
I was just trying to see. I thought I had oh God, I can't speak.
Are you pulling up your sex playlist?
I thought I had a playlist like specifically for that, but like I think most of my playlists could just work. Like this one's called Work That.
Okay.
Just pussy popping music. Just like something with a beat. Like I like something that like, but not like something that I think that people attribute to gays is like that house music that's like whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm like, that kind of shit. I'm like,
no.
I'm not a circuit party queen. I'm more like I'll go to a drag bar or something.
Yeah.
Queen. Like I want to hear pop girly shit. Thank you and good night. Bye, guys. Anyway, they fuck to Cher. He loves her because she's a survivor. And then, like, full on, Charlotte's like, have you ever been with a man? And he's like, have you ever been with a woman? And she's like, well, I mean, like, you talk about Betty Buckley and Martha Stewart and Cynthia Rowley. Like, aren't you gay? He's like, I'm a 35-year-old pastry chef who lives in Chelsea. If I were gay, I would be gay. You're the one who doesn't want to make love. And then
she gets dick down.
And I bet he's probably a pretty good lover. Like,
probably, yeah.
I'd date him. I would date him.
I would have sex with this guy. I wouldn't date him. He would embarrass me in public, I think.
I would date him because I'm gay.
Yes.
And I would,
it would be more appropriate.
It actually would make sense. I would love to date a pastry chef.
Right?
Who was also like okay with me being like chubby. Imagine being with a pastry chef who like wanted you to be skinny all the time.
Like, you can't eat that. Yeah. No.
They would like judge you for being like having rolls. You're like, where are we here? All right, we're getting there. We're getting there, guys.
They fuck, and then the next morning he's like a big pussy, I guess.
He's like, oh, that's okay. We actually go back to Samantha here. She's fallen back with Dominic. But guess what? Anka and him are gonna give it another shot. She's like, stop beating me to the punch.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta go, sorry. And she's like, get out. And he's like, I was already leaving. She's like, stop beating me to the punch. She's very funny here. But now let's get back to this.
They're in the kitchen in the morning. Gay, straight pastry chef Stephen and Charlotte are in the kitchen in the morning cooking up some brekkie. And there's a mouse on like a glue trap, and Stefan becomes a total fag, which honestly, this is not how we react.
You know,
we're still men. Guess what? I'm sorry. Hey, spoiler alert. And this is also being rude because then I'm saying women would act some kind of way. But I think there's like stereotyping here where it's like, just because you have effeminate traits means that you're like weak. And like, no, we handle our shit. Sorry.
This is exactly how Brad acted around bugs. I remember one time specifically I remember like which apartment it was.
I mean, I've known lots of gay straight men in my life, and they're nothing like this guy on the show.
There was this house centipede in our apartment. Do you know what that is? You should look up a house.
Yes,
centipede. It's
no,
like
they're
horrifying.
Disgusting. Yeah,
and like exactly it was both of us standing on our bed, like screaming, and I think both of us like were equally scared, but I think it was just like he was the one that was going to have to back down because there's no way that I was going to do this. And the hierarchy of sexes, he is the one that's going to have to deal with it. So he took like 4 of our like towels, like our body towels, threw them on the floor, and then we both screamed again. We jumped back on the bed, and we just kind of got over that. And I think he just,
that was probably a bad plan.
I wouldn't have. I was like, fine. I think he just grabbed the whole thing and like we tossed it like in the dumpster. We got rid of like 4 towels for this one because we like didn't want to feel it. But I was impressed with him. Good job, Brad, for manning up in that situation. We were the screams. We were screaming.
I just want to say, to leave it here, that Stefan and I, even though I'm gay, I'm still a man. Right? If I saw a rat on a glue trap, I wouldn't kick it towards a woman and say, "You do it."
What would you do? This would make me cry. I would have trauma for the rest of my life after this.
Okay, I'll tell a story. I had a mouse get into my house one winter here, like a few years ago.
Even with Butch? That's surprising because usually if you have a cat,
Butch doesn't do shit. I had the dog at that time too.
Oh yeah.
And somehow this mouse, like it was in one specific spot. I had my exterminator come and they put a trap, and like literally within 30 minutes, the mouse, like it was an old-fashioned trap too. I feel bad. Sorry guys. People might cancel me for this, but what am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I would probably just let it keep living there.
I'm not letting a mouse continue just to live in my home. What am I supposed to? I couldn't catch it. I couldn't scoop it up and throw it out. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I need it anyway.
So would you kill a cockroach? Would you be able to? I would never be able to kill a cockroach.
I would definitely kill a cockroach.
Really? And you'd be able to like pick it up and dispose of it?
Yes,
cockroach?
Easily.
That's my biggest fear after heights.
I would either have a magazine or a shoe. I'd love to grab a shoe, a flip-flop, smack the shit.
Just imagining it. I can't.
Pick it up with a paper towel, wipe up the area with a little, what are those? Like a Clorox wipe, and
a mouse or like a lizard, because we had a lot of lizards in Florida, and I was fine with lizards. Lizards are cute.
A lizard I wouldn't kill. I wouldn't have any desire to. I would just leave the lizard because I'll be like, oh, the lizard's fine. But a mouse in your house? I'm sorry, no.
I've never had a mouse because I always have at least 2 cats.
I have a fucking cat, guys. I have a cat, and I had a full-on dog.
AF.
Oh, Butch doesn't go in near anything. Like, I'll have crickets too sometimes, and I'm like, kill the cricket! And Butch will like literally like sit a foot away from it and like looking at it.
It's like, not my problem.
I'm going to beat your ass. Just kidding. I don't do that either. Oh my god, I sound like a horrible, horrible person this episode.
I killed this mouse. It was fucking sweet.
It was not sweet. It was upsetting. I heard it go snap and nothing. It was just done.
So did you get rid of it then? I would have called the exterminator to come back in, and I would have like left the house while it was.
Oh, I did. I had them come back the next day and take it.
Okay, good.
So it did sit there, I think.
Oh, by the way, in that scene with the mouse, Stefan is in the middle of making stones. again. I feel like you can
This
only make
faggot
scones.
loves his scones,
Yeah, he loves a
baby.
scone.
I mean, scones I think are pretty easy to make. So, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna sit in your stomach though too. And maybe another example that he's definitely not gay, and if he is gay, he's not taking it up the butt
Well,
because that's
at
like not
that moment,
great
maybe
for
that's why
butt sex.
that's why he's straight, is because he doesn't like butt sex
Yeah, I
of
mean who
any
does?
kind. Oh, well, I mean, um, at that moment, Charlotte realized her masculine side wasn't evolved enough for a man whose feminine side was as highly evolved as Stefan's.
Okay,
I'm gonna sneeze. Jeez.
nice.
Wow. It just almost looked like I dabbed, didn't it?
It did look like you dabbed. Very millennial.
Okay, gross. Big and Carrie come back to Big and Carrie are in we go to Big and Carrie in his bedroom. He's like, "Come back to bed, bitch. Get your sexy ass in here." She's like, "I have to leave. You realize I have to straighten my hair. I can't just do this hair doesn't just straighten itself." And he's like, "Well, can't you just get back in bed? Get in here and let's fuck." And she's like, "Ugh, no." So then she goes into this room, I guess, this other area, and she looks in the drawer, and there's a Polaroid of her and Big. And guess what,
It's
guys?
also the weirdest picture ever. I've always thought this picture was weird.
It's
like
from them at that wedding.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, why this picture? It's like not a good picture of
It's
them,
probably
really.
the only photo they have together.
It was like an accidental. Yeah, it is. It was accidental because it was candid. Because it was like neither of them are looking at the camera, but he's kind of behind her, and like she kind of looks like she's like falling out of his arms.
She does.
Yeah,
she does. Like she's like hunched forward, and she's like looking like. Though I bet they like. You realize there's like couples that think like this is this is like the fancy way to go. This is the type of photo they want. Is this like, we look very rich, we look very fancy, and we're in fancy outfits, and we're just so cool, we're so casual, this is what we do every day. You've caught us on this moment, this
picture
moment.
Negates everything in this episode.
Nothing. Who cares if Carrie can't leave a stitch at his house as long as she can leave, as long as her Polaroid's there? Because guess what? Suddenly, I realized I didn't have to worry about leaving something behind because I was there.
It's like, but that's not really the point, though. It had you still are stuck carrying your underwear back and forth.
Oh, but she does say she's going to leave her underwear there. She says, "I'm leaving this underwear here." He's like, "Is it clean?" And she's like,
"Oh," and then she slingshots it onto his face.
And he's like,
and it lands like right with the strip like on his
I don't know why he wouldn't care that much, because he like eats her pussy out.
Yeah, but dirty underwear is nasty. It's like crusty.
Well, your mouth is crusty after eating a pussy, ain't it? Like,
I don't know. I guess
I've never eaten one.
Neither have I.
We'll get to it, Amanda. Let us know. Anyway, it was a big. Fucking hell! I fucked up let me try that again. It was a small step for mankind, but it was a really big step for Big. What? The big step was leaving one pair of thong panties at his house, or the fact that he had a shitty Polaroid of you guys? And it was a Polaroid. Actually, that doesn't make sense. How would they have had this photo that was taken? Someone had a Polaroid camera at the wedding being like...
Yeah, because sometimes they do that. They'll have like, because they'll like, they'll leave cameras at the table. So maybe they were like, here, look at this is for you. The next episode, I think they break up. Yeah, they do. They break up the next episode.
Yay! I'm glad because I'm tired of... Yes, but I'm tired of Big and Carrie. I don't like them.
Okay. This is a good episode. Okay, it's called it's episode 12.
Yes.
La douleur exquisite. Carrie is horrified when Big casually tells her he's moving to Paris for 7 months. Miranda dates a man who only wants to have sex in places where they might get caught. So that's what's his face? Job from Arrested Development. And the voice of Coach Amy Poehler's ex-husband. What's his Will
Arnett.
Arnett, got it.
Jesus.
And Charlotte meets Buster, a high-end shoe salesman with a serious foot fetish, and that's that guy from Difficult People and also The Office. He's Dwight's friend in that. The shoe guy that's like the
Charlotte's feet. He plays what's her name's man?
Julie Posner's man. Yeah. She says he's the best kisser she's ever kissed. She says he has the nicest lips in the world.
Okay, guys. Well,
there's more.
Wait, what?
Samantha introduces the girl to a hot new S&M restaurant. That's it. And then the one after that is a bunch.
Well, I'm really glad you needed to scoot that part in because that part was really important.
Wait, we can't wrap up until they know that.
Anyway. Guys, make sure that you check out because next week Samantha's helping open a sexy sex S&M restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. By the time we get to this point, I am usually like tired.
You work so hard. All right, guys, we love you so much. Leave us a 5-star rating review. Engage in the comments here. Walter knows that I'm wrapping up. Engage in the comments.
Yes.
Subscribe.
We've been having you guys have been so awesome. I really appreciate each and every person who watches us.
And watch our weekly roundups because they're really good. You're only getting half the story over here. The weekly roundups
and we actually
fun.
we do a lot of research for those during the week. So
we actually kind of do.
I'm being real. I'm actually being honest.
Too.
Like, we talk about a ton of shit. We have photos.
It's a lovely little group of people. Like it's just really a lovely. Like it's just so safe. I feel safe there. So come join us. Weekly roundup. The times will change, but it's 3:30 Mountain Standard Time every Monday so far. We love you guys.
I have a problem with StreamYard right now and always is they do this thing where they're auto-correcting my face somehow and they're fixing my hairline. But do you see there's like...
I can see that, yeah.
They put that isn't there. This is my hair.
They add roots to my hair. Like this looks like I have like this much root, but if I like send you a picture, it would be all just like the blonde.
They're adding a extra bald spot like right in on my forehead, which if you guys notice me like trying to fix my hair, it's because I'm trying to fill in this weird fake bald spot. It's not that.
I do always notice you doing that too.
That is hair, and they're like doing some kind of thing where they think that they're fixing something.
Yeah.
And that's like a fake. That is not that's like, okay, sure. They're adding. Okay, if I part my hair, this is like a normal part. They're adding like inches.
That's a big. It looks like a big bald spot. It's okay.
It's not there.
I look busted too. We're this.
Two. Anyway, we love you guys.
Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Get right, honey.
Or wherever.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus.